My name is Boxy.
Yes, the M&Ms were pretty big in their day. The spokes candies, as they were called, have starred in probably the only commercials worth watching ever. Or close to it. So it only figures that their popularity will put them in a video game or two. My first one was M&M's The Lost Formulas for the PC. Gaming was a hobby I got into growing up, so it only figures that this game didn't disappoint. Aside from the absence of blue and crispy, orange. Yeah, I'm still not used to the name change. It had great graphics, the cutscenes played almost like the commercials, complete with the same voice actors, and the education sections worked surprisingly well into the game. But then again, I'd take the easy way out of them anyway. Then along came its remake 3 years later, M&M's Shell Shock for the PlayStation. Honestly, once you get past the mediocre graphics and the removal of one of the bonus levels, this game is even more enjoyable. Why? Because the education sections have been replaced with boss battles instead. Dude, that's just awesome. The only bummer about both games? Well, the M&M's commercials never had enough time for characterization or an arch nemesis for the M&M's for that matter. But if there's anything that comes close, it's the M&M's Minis.
I will destroy you all!
Since they're obviously the antagonists of this game, why don't you battle or fight them like in their commercials instead of collecting them for points? In fact, we haven't heard from the Minis in forever, have we? I mean, what do you think happened to... Oh, forget it, moving on. It seems that a lot of video games based off of movies are mediocre at best. They're usually sold out for money, not for the purpose of entertaining their players, or even living up to the movie's context. Well, this might sound crazy, but this game is the complete opposite. I loved The Emperor's New Groove as a kid, but you know what? I love the video game almost even more. The game's humor and satire almost matches the movies, joking about video game cliches long before the Simpsons game did. The game does alter certain plot points from the movie though. My favorite is this. Without giving too much away, Yzma undergoes a hideous transformation with her potion magic. In the movie, she stuck with it through and through. But in the game, she transformed without doing anything, transforms back, announces that she's gonna transform, and transforms for the final time. Try saying that 3 times fast. Well, I can't talk about this game without playing this voice clip.
Do a barrel roll!
Of course, you realize this is only the first of many memorable voice acting quotes in this game. And of course, that's not this game's only strong point. The flying controls were awesome, the planet designs were awesome, the boss battles were awesome, plus you have the option of taking alternate routes in this 7-world planet map. If you don't want to take one route, you can take another. I just find that plain awesome. I think what really shocks me about this game is, just like M&M's, it too gets a remake, this time on the 3DS. It may not sound like much, but it keeps the same voice actors with newly recorded lines, or sometimes new lines altogether. It also has very entrancing 3D graphics. Macbeth actually looks like a train station now. On a slightly more tragic note, Nintendo has once stated that if this remake didn't sell well, bye-bye Star Fox. And yeah, there are some changes that they made which I fear will doom the series. Namely Andross' evil laugh. This is his original laugh. And this is the remakes. Why am I not quivering in fear? Oh yeah, baby, I freaking love Kirby. His first step into the 3D universe was actually my first Kirby game, and because of the satisfying results, it's not my last. The colorful characters he meets along the way were very helpful in aiding the little puffball gather all the crystal shards. King Dedede is even on the side of good for a change, and is playable for the first time. I suppose if I had to nitpick, my only downside is the fact that such colorful and helpful characters get no voice-acted lines of dialogue like in Star Fox. Mostly because half the time I have no idea what the heck's going on in this game. Then again, some people might have found the voice acting annoying.
I see my lovable sidekick in mortal danger of being liquidated by the horrible robot from Mars. Perhaps next time you will resist your evil ways.
Every single 3D Mario platforming game ever made. Yep, you saw this coming. Every gamer is familiar with Mario, and his 3D platforming games are about as popular as him. The first one, Super Mario 64, was also my first N64 and Mario game period. It took the gaming world by surprise with its classic controls, graphics, sound effects, and catchy music tunes. Further platforming games tried to duplicate the greatness of Mario 64. Super Mario Sunshine, though? Yeah, it was good, but not only were there barely any of the familiar Mario enemies like Goombas or Koopa Troopas, this was the debut of the most annoying villain Mario has ever faced. Yes, Bowser Jr., whom many people hated for replacing the Koopalings in the role of Bowser's children. He was back in action in Super Mario Galaxy and its sequel, but thankfully the game's superb graphics and loyalty to Mario 64's controls and star objectives, not to mention anything involving Rosalina ever, are sure to keep you occupied. But by far my favorite 3D platforming game has to be the latest, Super Mario 3D Land. This game mixed 3D platforming rules with 2D platforming rules, and since those two things are wonderful selling points, it's a good mix. Finally, there's something common about these Mario games, especially recent ones. The fact that even after you stop Bowser's evil plot, you can still have fun with the gameplay with either level revisits or new levels. Which is good. Why does the game have to end like that? Gamers don't care about endings. As long as everything else meets their expectations, you don't need an